Hello, everyone. I am extremely excited to be here with you. It has been a tremendous, long time to get here to this moment. Now, after the Filecoin mainnet is live, so today really excited to introduce you to this whole Liftoff week. We have an amazing event planned for you, and I'll walk you through kind of what to expect and what are the kinds of things that that are going to be going on, and so on. I think a lot of you have probably seen the website as you use it to probably join this event. Here you can see the schedule for the main track. So today we have All Systems Go, which is an introduction to the whole Filecoin network. I'll walk you through what the Filecoin is for those of you who are new to it, and we'll talk about sort of the broader moment in the journey. We'll then hear from Colin about the Filecoin ecosystem. We'll have a fireside with Benet. We'll then talk about the decentralized cloud arriving, and we'll hear from Olaf. And then we will have a very special introduction of the Filecoin Foundation from Marta. In the next days, we will hear, the next day is about mining. So this is a pretty intense day dedicated to all of the mining operators out there. And there's all kinds of talks and workshops and panels about various different things. So things around Filecoin proofs to how to operate a small miner, how hardware architectures work, how the storage economy works, and so on. Then on Wednesday, it's dedicated to developers. And so there's all kinds of talks around the whole new stack, various different kinds of developer tools, applications that people are building, and so on. On Thursday, we will hear about storing really valuable data. And so we will hear about both techniques for doing so with libraries and tools to store extremely valuable data sets and all kinds of important business data and so on. And we'll also get to hear from some special users of Filecoin and the valuable data that they're storing. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about the future. And so that's a day dedicated to look ahead, to think about our next upcoming challenges and where we're headed. Here in this website, you can click this link and that'll take you to kind of like a larger schedule. So in addition to this main track, which is sort of like think of it as the main stage, we have a number of other tracks going on. So I'll just give you a quick preview of that. Here, this schedule is organized with each day and kind of a UTC time zone. So later today, in a sense, or tomorrow for those of you in UTC, we'll have a whole section of miner spotlights. There's a number of miners already signed up. If you're a miner and you would like to be there, you can still sign up. You can go and add a comment here on Figma, and you can sign up for one of those slots. There are a whole number of meetups and other events that are going right now. If you are hosting an event, please add it to the calendar. You can just leave a comment as well. Here's an example of a meetup in Shanghai that IPFS Force is hosting, and so on. There are a number of other tracks that you can check out here. So definitely highly encourage you to go check out all of the schedules. And as you can see, there's a lot of people working with the schedule at the moment and playing around with it. We want this to be a really open conference that kind of tunes to what you want. So if you see an open slot and you have something to share for the whole community that is relevant to that, just comment on there and you can suggest a talk. And again, if you have an event or you want to add a track and you want to organize it yourself, you're welcome to. We want this whole week to be a very strong celebration of the Filecoin ecosystem. And we know there's a lot of folks with running their own events and their own tracks and so on. So you can just add your own track here by commenting. In addition to that, note that there are some discussion spaces and lounges. You should think of this as the hallway track of the conference. We're trying out a few different applications, Gather, AirMeet, and Slack, of course. Highly recommend checking this out. We're trying to create a kind of spatial social feel like many other conferences. Sometimes the hallway track is the best track in the conference. And so highly recommend going to those spaces and lounges and getting to know the rest of the community and hanging out and so on. At the end of the day, so many important parts of a project get built or started or thought about in those hallway track conversations. And so if we can help you get to know each other better, if we can help spark some ideas, if we can help spark some of those conversations, that will be a very valuable thing. So definitely hang out in those spaces and try it out. I know that it's probably very weird and different to have a hallway track in a virtual conference. That is quite not what most of us wanted to do when, say, 2020 started. But here we are. So definitely try it out and see how it goes. In this Phil Liftoff Week channel, you should also feel very free and welcome to organize your own things with other people, organize conversations, events, and whatnot. And you should also be able to kind of give us feedback if you think that there's something we can make we can do to make the event better. Without further ado, I will now jump back to presentation.